low-key wish I live in the Upper West Side or the Upper East Side so that I can just go out for a walk, go biking in Central Park. Like Central Park would be my backyard. I've already been to Amsterdam. That's the holiday train. So cool. Happy Vlogmas Day 9. I just got home from a day exploring Uptown. It was a fun day. Weekend train was delayed, seriously, so annoying. And I was so exhausted. I got home, made myself a bowl of ramen, loaded all of the video footage in my laptop, was about to edit, and then I fell asleep. Yesterday, I drank my tea super late and couldn't fall back to sleep. And this cycle repeats. But anyways, I thought I would sit down and explain the day because otherwise it would make no sense. So 2 days ago, I happened to come up with this idea, decided to go for these pairs of hotel slippers from this one iconic hotel in New York. That is the one and only the Carlyle Hotel. It is in the Upper East Side. Last night when I was out and about, I was gonna take my train home and then I got an email saying that my slippers were ready for a pickup, but it was too late. So I decided to come pick it up the next day. Hence the trip uptown. I was supposed to go uptown, do a solo day uptown on Saturday, but it ended up being on Sunday. So then I didn't get to do all of my PR product sorting that I was going to do. I didn't even get to do any groceries, so and that is totally fine. Today, I went uptown, picked up my slippers at the hotel, and I did walk into the cafe and the little piano bar. That's one of my top things to do. One of these days is to dress nice, go to a piano cocktail bar, just get a glass of martini and then enjoy the music. I don't know, I think it's cool and a very New York thing to do. So that's still on my list. I saw there was a birthday party and there were a bunch of little kids, and I think there was a birthday party and then there was a pianist that was playing. And then I saw the Madeleine book. That's the classic Georgian book, in case you haven't heard. It is written and illustrated by this famous artist called Ludwig Bemelmans, and that's why the bar is named Bemelmans. He's the one that did the murals that's so famous inside that bar. So in case you don't know, Madeleine is a story about this little girl who goes to boarding school in Paris, and the book is about these 12 little girls who always do things in 2 straight lines. They eat together, they sleep together, they play together, and explore Paris together. One day, Madeleine cried in the middle of the night because of her ruptured appendix. She had to go to the hospital and woke up with all of these amazing toys and gifts and candies, and her friends saw it. And then the next time, everyone cried and wanted to have their appendix removed. And that was basically it for the story. I thought it was such a cute story, and I loved the illustration. I'm definitely a fan of his playfulness of all of the characters and the way he uses the colors in all of his art. I'm definitely planning another Uptown day. We'll stop by an art gallery and maybe maybe we'll get a drink there afterwards. So yeah, I thought I would just show you what the hotel slippers look like. By the way, I was standing there waiting for the staff to get my order. There were two girls that came in and asked for the matchbooks. And I realized I forgot because I do collect these matchbooks from iconic New York restaurants and hotels. I asked and they gave me one. How cute is this? Very cool. The staff there was so nice. They gave me this paper bag with the logo of the hotel on it. This bag with the Carlyle logo. I did a quick browse on Google and people were selling these slippers for like $60 on eBay without shipping. You can pick these up and they are only $25 and you gotta pay tax with it, obviously. But if you can't be able to pick it up, you will have to pay for the shipping. But I believe that if you book a stay at the Carlyle, you'll be able to get these for free because they come with the room and you can take them home. But here are the slippers. Just basic kind of soft towel cotton slipper, and then in the back I believe these are like faux leather with the fabric trimming. I wouldn't say they are like the most well done slippers ever, as you can see. I think they're cute. I don't have any slippers to wear around my apartment, so I think these will be perfect. I thought it was just something fun to do and that inspired a fun day uptown. After the Carlyle, I walked to Zitomer. Zitomer is literally just across the street from the Carlyle. It's another classic New York institution where they carry a lot of these French, Italian beauty products. And it's like a French pharmacy in Uptown. I've been there before. They sell Mason Pearson brushes. And then I happened to walk past the Mark Hotel. They had a hot dog stand. I decided to wait in line. It was a short line. Everyone was really nice and I picked up a hot dog. And then just a block away from the Mark Hotel, there's this bookstore that has been marked on my map for a long time. I've seen people talk about it in their bookstore recommendation in New York that you have to visit. So I finally get to visit and it's called Albertine. It is housed in this official landmark building. It's called Payne Whitney Mansion. So after you enter the bookstore, you've got to walk upstairs. So the ceiling has a hand-painted mural. It features constellations, stars, and planets. And I was so wowed, so amazing to see in person. There are a lot of books that you can take out and sit down and read. There are some seatings available, some sofas, some chairs. They do have a lot of French books for sale. Yeah, I don't speak French, even though I do. I wish I would pick that up as my third language. I've said that for years now. I've got to do that one of these days. But it was really nice to browse. And it is definitely one of those places that makes me pinch myself, that I'm like, wow, I get to live in New York, I get to experience these places and how amazing it is. So after the bookstore, I decided to walk across Central Park from the Upper East Side to the Upper West Side, so from the east to the west. It's about 20-25 minute walks and it can be confusing, but if you follow your map, you'll be able to get there. But at the same time, I've never walked this path before and it is such a fun way to spend the day. Look at this. How awesome. Photos of pets. That's so sweet. Aww. Every time when I go to Central Park, I discover new corners, new hidden gems. And even though it's winter now, there are barely any leaves on the trees, but people are still out there biking, walking, running, and just enjoying their day in the park. And I think it's such an amazing place to be ever. And I do wish that I could live in the Upper West Side or the Upper East Side one of these days and get to call Central Park. It's like my backyard. It sounds kind of nice. And there was some point before that I thought, I wish I could go to grad school at the Columbia University and then I'll get to visit Central Park all the time and get to live uptown. But anyways, I stopped by the Housing Work thrift shop. It was a tiny thrift store. In case you don't know, they have a bunch of other locations in New York. For some reason, that specific thrift shop ended up being on my map. I think I just saw some girl's TikTok and she found something cool. She said that's a hidden gem. I went there. It was packed. There's no way you're gonna be able to find anything because it's so busy. Just like less than a block away from the Grand Bazaar flea market. So Grand Bazaar is a flea market that opens weekly year-round. I've been there a few times. I bought a leather jacket at one of the vendors there before, but this time I stopped by, it was just the same old thing, and there was this girl that was selling a bunch of these Burberry trench jackets, and I saw the tags. Everything was $500 to $600 per jacket, and I thought that was crazy. And any flea market vendors, any of these vintage sellers, thrift stores, curated vintage stores in New York, I try to stay away from these days. Like, it's fun to browse, but I never buy anything because they get a little bit too ridiculous these days. In New York, you gotta pay. Then at the same time, it gets kind of crazy. I got my Burberry trench jacket at Front General Store. It's a curated vintage store in Dumbo, in Brooklyn, and I paid $375 for it, and I thought it was crazy enough. But I've seen price tags at these vendors, even out on the street, and they price things at like $500, $600, like easy. I was really tired at the end. I'm like, I'm done looking at stuff because I've been out for the past 3 days. So yeah, I've got to go find a set of sweater and sweatpants that someone just bought from my postmark. And then we'll ship it out tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to clean up the apartment. And maybe we'll do a grocery trip at the end of the day. And I will see you tomorrow.